vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text STUDENT to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text STUDENT to 323232 right now. Text STUDENT to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's STUDENT to 323232. Text STUDENT to 323232 now.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep
high
breath.
Five, high five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked!
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Auto theft in Colorado remains prevalent. Stop auto theft and subsequent crimes by locking your car and taking your keys every time. Learn more at lockdownyourcar.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight, taking a look at the biggest stories in Denver sports. From your online home for the best opinions and information on the Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, and more. DenverSports.com.
And it is Denver Sports Tonight on this Wednesday night in the Mile High City. He's Dante Gomez. I'm Will Peterson. We will roll with you for the next hour as we turn the page to Los Angeles Chargers. Broncos and Chargers, Sunday afternoon, SoFi Stadium. 105 local kick, 205 here in Denver. Broncos certainly got to get the bad taste out of their mouth from the debacle that was the Colts that we have dissected in every which way. They are 1-1, looking to get to 2-1 and tied with LA atop the AFC West. Of course, the flip of that is if they lose, they'll be 1-2. Chargers will be 3-0 with wins over all three teams in the division, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Broncos. Dante, as we officially are on to the Chargers, what is your gauge on a Wednesday night in terms of confidence level for the Broncos in this football game, considering that, yes, I get it's still September, but the circumstances are raised in terms of importance for an early season contest?
Yeah, confidence level on Sunday's game particularly, or confidence level as a season outlook?
Sunday's game particularly, just because the magnitude of it feels high for this point of the season.
It does. I'm going to go with like a 6. I think that's fair. I mean, they're slight underdogs, so it's hard for me to go any higher than that. The Chargers have looked great, arguably a top 3 team in the AFC. I think a lot of people would actually agree on that. So I actually think the loss to Indianapolis almost helps them in this week. I feel like they're definitely going to get a good week of preparation in, a laser focus after how they lost last weekend. So I think that gives them a little bit of an extra oomph going into this game.
Yeah, you're going full Vance Joseph there. Good week of practice, baby. Good week of practice. That VJ doesn't say that anymore, but that drove folks crazy when he was the head coach. They're hanging on 50 burgers, getting 50 burgers hung on them, and VJ would say, well, we had a good week of practice. Like, well, you just gave up 52 points to the Eagles. I'm with you, though, that maybe this can be turned into a positive, if you will. I'm still ultra ticked off. I'm not trying to sugarcoat what happened in Indy. It was unacceptable. It was unacceptable to pick. It was unacceptable to doink, and it was unacceptable to try to aggressively block a 60-yard field goal. But I do think it's go time for this team, and I think they realize it's go time. I told Anilo last night, I'll tell you now, that's kind of your one head-scratching loss of the year you're really allowed. I think NBA season, you're going to have 5 or 6 of those. NHL, you're going to have 5 or 6 of those. Baseball, you may have 15 of them. But football, they're just too precious. There's only 17 of them. You can't do something boneheaded like that and lose another game the rest of the way. The problem is you blew it in week 2. we're not looking for perfect football. They are going to lose games the rest of the way, but we can't have another loss that just kind of rips our heart out and stomps on it like the one against the Colts. I'll go 7 out of 10 in my confidence meter against the Chargers this weekend. And I think why I lean towards that is LA is supposed to be this running team, right? That's kind of their identity. Jim Harbaugh, they draft Hampton high in the first round. They sign Najee Harris. And what's happened thus far? Justin Herbert's just tearing up the league. He's throwing it up and down. I think Pat Surtain is going to be a lot better this weekend. I think this.
Any worry about his injury from last weekend?
The good news is we did get an injury report this afternoon. He is not even on it. So not only are the Broncos not listing him as, ankle full, they're just not listing him at all. So he spoke today as well and said he's fine. So I don't worry about that. I look for a bounce back game from him. And Quentin Johnston, this is a guy who's had a big first 2 weeks. I'm sure fantasy football players out there are scrambling to pick him up on waivers or already did or whatever. But he was getting the B word, bust, attached to his name after the early parts of his career. And I don't want to make the same mistake I made last week and poo-poo Quentin Johnston and then goes out and has 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I just do think that the Broncos secondary is going to be able to lock him down. Ladd McConkey, a DNP today for the Chargers with a biceps thing. That bears watching. I don't know if the Chargers are going to hang as many points on this Broncos defense unless they can run the football. And quite frankly, thus far, I don't think Omari and Hampton's looked very special through 2 weeks. I get it's very young in his NFL career. I think what I'm getting at is the Chargers are going to score somewhere in the high teens to low 20s. And I think this Broncos offense can do enough to find a way to win a football game 24-21, something like that.
Yeah, I like that call. And you're right. The Chargers were supposed to hang their hats on this great running game that they had a season ago. This season hasn't really turned out that way. Amari Hampton hasn't looked great, even though, he's a young, fresh guy, rookie here. Hasn't really got, the wheels turning yet. Najee Harris, I'm not too sure what an impact player he is at this point in his career. He just seems a little big and a little slow at this point. So I think you're right. And a little short week for the Chargers, just 1 day shorter, but still a short week for them in terms of, getting their bodies back right there. So I definitely think that the Broncos have a good chance of going in there. I think the defense will look better than what we saw a week ago. How do you think they use PS2? Because I don't know if Ladd McConkey is a good matchup for PS2. We've seen some of those smaller, more agile wide receivers. PS2, not that he ever struggles, but struggles more with a guy like that versus a bigger guy like a DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I don't think they'll shadow, if that's what you're asking me. I don't think he's going to be on Ladd every snap. Again, we'll have to see if Ladd plays. Now, remember, he's a DNP today, but they played Monday Night Football, so what they did today was probably just a walkthrough of sorts, and this is more of an estimation. But still, it bears keeping an eye on with Ladd McConkey the next couple of days. But
do you think he shadows anybody or just not Ladd?
No, I think he just plays aside, would be my gut. I mean, quite frankly, Quentin Johnston has looked more threatening than Ladd McConkey through a couple of games thus far, and let's not forget, Keenan Allen looks like he's caught a new life as well, being back home in L.A., had that 1 year with the Bears last year that, honestly, if you look at his stats, it wasn't that bad, but the Bears are just kind of losers at this point, and I think Keenan wanted to go back to a contender. I wanted him here in Denver. I tried to bang that drum, and I think the Chargers made a good decision to bring him home. He looks like he's playing pretty solid football. But, yes, my gut would be PS2 just lines up and guards who's in front of him. How about you?
Yeah, I think it'll be probably what you're saying there. I just don't think the Chargers have like a number one go-to kind of receiver where you need to stick Patrick Surtain on him, down in and down out. If maybe there's a halftime adjustment, if, Quentin Johnston's just tearing up the Broncos, then maybe you can throw PS2 on him, or if Keenan Allen's just getting every third down kind of thing, you can throw PS2 on him there. But yeah, I'm with you. I think he's more of a certain side of the field, so he'll try to shut off that side. I don't think it'll be Ladd McConkey though. I don't see that being a good matchup for him.
Yeah, and McConkey again, unbelievable rookie year, hasn't looked great through 2 weeks, but we know he's got a lot of potential. We'll just keep an eye on whether or not he plays. But speaking of injury reports, we got to dive into the Broncos injury report because it's actually not real encouraging for a first injury report of the week on a Wednesday. There's one name, and it's going to be the name Broncos country is curious about. Our Andrew Mason was down there today, and he let the group know. We're not allowed to report it, obviously, but now it's fair game because practice is over. It's out there. The injury report has been released. Dre Greenlaw is a DNP with a quad. The linebacker coming over from the Niners doesn't go on IR, which you're just burning a roster spot by not putting him on IR if he doesn't play in the first 4 weeks. I'm not making any grand declarations that he's out this weekend. He did do some work on the side field today, but officially a DNP. Concernometer, 8, 9?
Yeah, I was going to go with 8 before you said that.
Yeah, 8, 9. I mean, this is getting weird. And I think, and we don't know this because it's the Broncos and they won't tell us, and I understand why, but there was a real chance he was going to play in that preseason finale against the Saints. They wanted to get him some run on the field, and that's kind of what we heard leading up to that game. And then we get to New Orleans. It's a Saturday morning. Superdome's half full, and Dre Greenlaw's in street clothes. No one really thought that much of it. It's like, do they really want to risk it on a non-natural playing surface? Guy coming off an Achilles a couple years in the Super Bowl, only played 2 games last year. I'm just guessing. I don't have this on the record. It's just a guess. He had another setback at some point. He had to have had another setback at some point, because if this dude was going to play in late August against the Saints, and all of a sudden it's the middle of September, he's practiced once. That was last Friday in a quote-unquote limited capacity. And then today, he basically takes a step back to a DNP. I think there was a setback. And I think if you wouldn't had a latte or two with Sean Payton, they would have put this guy on short-term IR, ruled him out the first 4 games of the season, and used that roster spot. Quite frankly, they're lucky that Lavelle Bailey is still an option because they cut him and he didn't get claimed by someone else. That to me, and we'll go through this whole injury report because believe me, there's others that have my antenna up. But Greenlaw being a DNP today, Dante, is just like kind of a sick, you got to be kidding me type feeling.
Yeah, we're just waiting for him to get out there, and it's the same injury from optional OTAs.
Yeah,
right, because that's when he had that first quad pop up there, and everything was he'll be good to go by the season. He'll be good to go, for most of training camp at that point. I'm with you. I definitely think he had some sort of setback. I don't think the Broncos' plan was to wait for maybe at the earliest week 4 we're going to see him, because even if he didn't participate today at practice, you still need some sort of a ramp up. It's not like you just practice one day. It's like, all right, he's good to go. We'll throw him out there on Sunday. I think you need stack a couple practices in a row before we see him out there. So I would be very surprised if he's out there in week 3. I think at this point the goal would be, week 5.
Which again, you could have just put him on IR at that point and used the roster spot on someone else. And I want you to hear from Sean Payton today about Dre Greenlaw, because Sean famously or infamously doesn't discuss injuries during the season, but we got a little breadcrumb on Greenlaw and if they expected him to be practicing by now.
We felt like he's kind of on our schedule, and look, we spend time on it because it's a little nebulous relative to the injury, and that's all I'll say.
Little nebulous. Take me back to high school with a vocab lesson. What is the definition of nebulous? Quote, in the form of a cloud or haze. Hazy. That's what nebulous means. So Sean is telling you it's a little uncertain, a little hazy about Greenlaw, but he also in the same breath, just before that, says he's on our schedule. I don't buy that.
Well, he said he's on our schedule, kind of. Which already that kind of gave it away to me of like, there's been some sort of setback. Again, we're assuming, I guess, at this point, or projecting that on there. But it feels like
a pretty safe assumption, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like if I were to put my money on it, I would put my money on there was some sort of setback in the last couple of weeks here. Definitely. I mean, you don't go from maybe playing in week 3 of the preseason to probably not playing in week 3 of the NFL season.
Exactly. And I think Broncos country is getting a little frustrated, and rightfully so, because as we continue on this injury report, Evan Ingram, the other guy they signed this offseason to a relatively big money deal, he pops up today as a DNP, did not practice, so not trending in the right direction for Sunday. And Dante, it was a quad with Ingram the last couple of weeks.
Calf.
Calf. They're all the same. Calf. Quad.
Yeah, the calf bone's connected to the
yes. I appreciate the correction. You are right on that. It was a calf. Regardless, he's no longer listed with that. It's now a back injury for Evan Ingram. So not only is he not practicing, but the designation has changed to a back Guy played less than 50% of the snaps against the Colts. We're all looking around going, why are they in goal line and Troutman and Kroll are out there? Why is Evan Ingram, the $30 million man, not out there? The guy who had 108 catches just a couple of years ago. Well, this may explain it. He somehow tweaked his back. I don't know when he did it, but man, you're now talking about Ingram having his second injury before you've even played game 3. Not going to sit here and say the guy's done because that would be premature. But I do just worry, how much does Evan Ingram really have left in the tank? Because we heard about it. He's injury prone. I don't know if you guys want that guy. Oh, we want him. Bo needs a tight end. He'll be fine. Well, all of a sudden, we're getting headaches. What was the criticism? You're signing injury-prone guys, and those injury-prone issues are popping up in a big way. I'm really concerned about Greenlaw. I think we said an 8. I'll put Ingram at an 8 as well. I can't sugarcoat this as just nicks and bruises. This feels more significant that every week we're going to be monitoring whether or not this guy plays.
Yeah, and I mean, thank goodness Hufanga has been a great player through these first 2 weeks, as he kind of finishes that trifecta of they're great, but they get injured a lot. So he's been able to remain healthy to this point, knock on wood there. But yeah, the Ingram thing, I'm not so sure I'm ready to say he's out of gas. I think he can't be the Joker, and that was what was thrown at him this offseason of Sean needs a tight end that can do multiple things. I think that ship has sailed as far as him being, an impact, like a number 1 or 2 impact player on this offense. I'm not expecting that. If he could be the 4th most impactful player on offense, I think that would be a good place to start for Ingram now. But I'm with you. It's concerning that, 1 week it's the calf, 1 week it's the back. Who knows what it is going forward. Wish him the best, but he's not exactly the most, thick tight end out there. He's a little on the slimmer side as far as tight ends go, and that doesn't help in terms of trying to avoid injuries this time of year.
Well, and it's interesting you bring up Hufanga because another injury to pass along. Talanoa Hufanga,
I didn't know that actually,
is on the Broncos injury report. Now, luckily he was limited, so generally when you're limited on a Wednesday, that bodes fairly well toward playing on Sunday, but still, I don't want to see Hufanga on here. So all 3 guys, all 3 big free agent signings. Greenlaw, Ingram, Hufanga. Week 3 on the injury report. Talanoa Hufanga is listed as limited with a chest injury. A chest injury for him. Again, I don't think there's alarm bells ringing that he's not going to play, but the NFL takes this stuff seriously. If guys are hurt, you got to list them. He's already battling something as well. And then to just give you a 4th name, where are they thin? Inside linebacker. Very thin at inside linebacker. Singleton looks like a 30-year-old coming off an ACL. Greenlaw hasn't got on the field. Bailey's on the practice squad. Another DNP. Justin Stranad pops up as a did not practice with a foot injury today. Who's playing linebacker on Sunday? I'm not saying Stranad's lighting the world on fire. He was pretty good against the Titans. He was pretty bad against the Colts. But 2 of your inside linebackers were DNPs today. Your safety's got a chest for limited. Your tight end is a back. He's a DNP. We'll do injury reports every Wednesday because it's our biggest breadcrumb in terms of where the health of this team is. When this thing hit my inbox this afternoon, Dante, it was not the most encouraging, especially when you throw Stranad in there out of left field with a foot.
Yeah, I had not heard that either, so that's news to me. Yeah, and it's not like the Broncos have been good at that position anyway when they were, quote-unquote healthy minus Greenlaw, who we knew wasn't going to play last week pretty early on there. So, yeah, that is concerning that a weak point is getting potentially weaker here as we head into, only week 3 of the season. So they definitely got to figure that out. I don't even know. I figured it out. I don't even know what you can do at that point in terms of try to keep these guys healthy. It's a very tough position to keep healthy, obviously. And it's not like you're going to go find somebody on the street like they did last year. Right? Stranad was brought in about halfway through the year, I want to say, at least to the maybe starting role.
Yeah, he had been here for a while as a special teams guy, but he was clearly special teams, and you're right. They expanded his role in a major, major way down the stretch.
Yeah, so it's one of those where you're already thin there. You can't really afford to go any deeper into that room. and they haven't really been performing all that great anyway. Even in week one of my observations was I know the defense looked great. The safeties played great because they had to play great. They were making way too many tackles for my liking. I would have liked a handful of those tackles to go to those inside linebackers. And, Hufanga and Jones looked, again, fantastic in week one, but you can't ask a safety to go make 10 tackles a game every game. That's just not realistic for these guys.
Yeah, you and I are on the same page there. I remember talking to Zach and Phil about that a week ago of, hey, I'm happy Hufanga had a great game against the Titans, but I never want my safeties leading my team in tackles. Derek in Castle Rock on the RamaSlaw.com text line 303-713-1043 says, there's a reason the 49ers didn't do a high-value money re-sign of Greenlaw. Great players don't see free agency unless there are problems with attitude, health, declining play, or a bit of each at times. For Greenlaw, it was all about health and availability. Generally, I agree with you, Derek, because I think you're right. The great ones don't hit free agency in the NFL. But let's not forget that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch flew to Texas for an emergency meeting to try to convince Dre Greenlaw to flip. I don't think this is so much about the Achilles. Could still be a factor, but I think this is more he's just got to Denver in the last 6 months haven't gone well for Dre Greenlaw. Sure, there's a lingering aspect to all this because when you tear an Achilles, that's a major, major injury. But I think it goes back to what you and I were saying about there was some sort of setback because if John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan knew Dre Greenlaw wasn't going to play in the first 2 weeks and maybe not play in week 3 as a DNP on Wednesday, I'm not so sure how much begging they would have gone down there in Texas.
Yeah, and I can kind of speak to the Achilles injury affecting other parts of your body firsthand here. I tore my Achilles 2 summers ago, and it gets to the point where, so I tore my left Achilles. My right calf gets a little more sore than it used to. My right knee gets a little more sore than it used to. So, and I'm just a regular, Joe Schmo. I'm not going up and trying to tackle 220-pound men every day. So I definitely think it has some sort of lingering impact. But you are right. The 49ers still made a last-ditch effort to try to bring Greenlaw in. And Greenlaw chose Denver over where he'd been the last, handful of years there. So, it definitely, to me, is somewhat associated with that, but, I mean, you can't have the same quad injury from 6 months ago.
No.
I may be exaggerating there, but not too far off from 6 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was even in the spring. It may have even been before OTA, so I don't think your 6 months is all that off. The 6690 says Evan Ingram should have talked to Chris Bryant about hotel beds. Could have saved a lot of anguish. Little shot at Chris Bryant talking about those jail beds when he messed up his back. Good text. The 8818 is texting us thinking we are Kyle Clark in 9 News. We are not Kyle Clark in 9 News. You have the wrong number, so direct your inquiry somewhere else. The 8296 says we are missing Malcolm Roach right now, just as big as anyone else, including not having Dre Greenlaw. No wonder we can't stop the run. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You think of the defensive line as a strength, and it is a strength, don't get me wrong, but Malcolm Roach did a lot of really nice things for the Broncos last year. He's a guy that did end up landing on IR because of an injury before the Titans game. It does feel like the more big bodies you can have in the middle, the more you prevent them from getting to that second layer, something that Tony Pollard and Jonathan Taylor haven't had a lot of problems with through 2 weeks.
Yeah, and when you say the D-line was a strength, they were a strength in pass rushing. I don't know if their strength was necessarily stopping the run last year. I mean, we still saw the Bills kind of march up and down the field with James Cook at will running on this team. So I don't know if stopping the run was ever a strength for this team since Sean Payton's gotten here.
No, they need to clean that up. And honestly, with Vance Joseph, it's a roller coaster, man. I mean, 1 week, this guy's going to get a head coaching job. The next week, this guy's going to get fired. He's got to start finding a little more consistency on that side of the ball. And I know Zach brought a ton of numbers yesterday, and they were all great numbers, kind of outlining the last 7-8 games of the struggles. What I was picking up on when Zach was relaying those, almost all of those have been on the road. Almost all of them have been on the road. You think of the Chargers game last year, the TNF game on the road, not good. The Cincy game on the road, not good. The playoff game against the Bills on the road, not good. The Colts game on the road, not good. Whereas the home games, for whatever reason, have just been smoother for the defense. And ironically, I feel like the offense looks more comfortable on the road. It feels like the Broncos are playing a lot of gross, low-scoring, somewhat hard-to-watch football games at Empower Field at Mile High. And for whatever reason, Bo Nix and the offense are more comfortable on the road, but the defense doesn't travel. they got to find a way to figure that out, particularly this Sunday against the Chargers. Can we just walk in here on Monday morning going, the offense played well and the defense played well? Because when's the last time we could say that? And I get Week 18 against the Chiefs, but that was JV. The Chiefs had no interest in winning that day. All their best players were benched. It was Carson Wentz. Outside of that game,
maybe the Falcons?
Yeah, we're talking middle of last season for the last time we could come in on a Monday and go, offense played great, defense played great. Because quite frankly, if they both play up to their potential, then Sean's not crazy for talking about the Super Bowl. If the offense plays to its potential and the defense plays to its potential, I could see everything going right. They hoist the Lombardi. But the problem is these two units can't get on the same page. Defense plays well against Tennessee. Offense stinks. Offense plays fairly well for about 40 minutes against the Colts. Defense stinks. They need to put a complete game together this weekend where the defense does its part, the offense does its part, and come Sunday night about 6 o'clock, the Broncos are 2-1 and the Chargers are 2-1.
Yeah, no, this is a big one, especially interdivision where the Chargers are getting off to a hot start, 2-0, 2 division wins already, which is kind of a weird scheduling thing there for the Chargers. They're playing 3 division games right off the bat. So, and I didn't really realize until you pointed it out, but yeah, you're right. The defense has not traveled too well in the last, let's call it the back half of last season up until this season. They have a great home field advantage. I will say Broncos country shows out when you watch those games on TV or you're there in person. I know I've been to a Broncos game where the team was, 3-13, and it's still third down. The place is stomping. It's loud. Empower Field provides a great home field advantage for this team, but you got to figure a way to, go out on the road and repeat that kind of process because eventually you're going to have to win on the road. And the way the division's looking, the Chargers, if they win on Sunday, 3-0 versus a 1-2 Broncos and an 0-2 Chiefs at this point, it looks like they have a pretty good head start towards winning this division. And I know Sean Payton mentioned it last year after the Bills game. You got to find a way to get these playoff games at home, and the only way you're going to do that is by winning the division. So this game's massive in terms of the Broncos trying to host a game. I know, and it's crazy to say that we're halfway through September and we're talking all the way to January, but that's how important this game is.
Yeah, I want you to hear from Sean Payton about division games, the importance of them, and we'll do that next.
Should a new adjective be used to describe the Broncos' defense?
This defense that everybody was raving about all offseason. Oh, this could be the best defense in the NFL. This could be a historic defense. Let's retire that for a while. This defense is overrated. They got exposed as being overrated.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here from my friends at Xfinity, and the other day I'm over at a friend's place. He's pumped to watch football, but his setup, total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find a game. He claimed to be a big fan, but I feel like I was being fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you gotta have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way I watch, well, it's next level. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm in the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going on at once. Why? Because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications, live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every single time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K cable TV box.
Dunrack Kitchens, Baths, Counters and Floors, Finished Basements, Windows and Doors. Our 8% scheduling incentive and bank financing to ask about make a great time to call 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Imagine your home quieter, cooler, and more beautiful with the new Infinity from Marvin windows. Right now, Gravina's Window Center of Littleton is offering 25% off. These aren't ordinary windows. They're built to outlast, outperform, and turn heads. Family owned since 1973, trusted across Colorado, and they never cut corners. Call them 303-794-0490 or visit windowsforyourhome.com. Don't delay. Quality costs less than regret.
Football is here, and Fitness Gallery's Fall Football Sale is your playbook for a winning home gym. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit any of our 7 stores from Denver to Fort Collins and score big before the sale ends.
This is Jeff for Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Greg.
Hi, my name is Greg. I've been a patient of Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic for over 10 years. I noticed that I was really tired. I was lethargic. I didn't sleep really well, and I was overweight. My waist was 4 inches over what it should have been. It was really difficult for me to lose the body shape I didn't like. And of course, my marriage, yes. No man in their 40s wants to have low libido in their marriage. I'm really thankful for this therapy because it just makes me feel the man I want to be, active, at home, everywhere. If you're feeling like I was, call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today and get checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Thanks, Greg. It's true. Low T therapy will likely change your life. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri, coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's your last chance to take advantage of EV federal tax credits at Siltar Motors. This month, get the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the head-turning Mustang Mach-E with 0% interest for 72 months or lease credits up to $11,000 off. Check out their current selection of EVs at sthmotors.com to get the EV you want befor they are gone. Siltar Motors has got the best location, the biggest EV selection in Denver, and the most competitive pricing in Colorado. Siltar Motors will deliver everything you want out of a dealership.
Ace Hardware at Mississippi and Havana in Aurora. Store closure sale. All inventory 30 to 40% off, including a full line of Steel, Milwaukee, DeWalt Power Tools, Big Green Egg, Traeger and Weber grills. Great selection of Ego, Toro, Ariens and Craftsman lawnmowers, snowplows, and so much more. Open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by TradeGen Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors.
It's Denver Sports Tonight on Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan.
So we all know divisional games in the NFL are important. That is extremely, extremely obvious. But when the Chargers are looking like a 12, 13 win type of team, at least through a couple of weeks, listen, they check all the boxes. Got a great head coach in Jim Harbaugh. Got a very solid quarterback in Justin Herbert, at least a very solid regular season quarterback. Defense looks great. I mean, Geno Smith put him an all-time bad stat line on Monday Night Football. Fewer than 200 yards, 3 picks. He's throwing the ball out of bounds on 4th and 5. It's like, what are we doing? You just got to chuck it up and see what happens. 4th and 5, you're just giving it away if you're throwing the ball out of bounds. And Sean Payton got asked today kind of about if this week brings more importance now that the Chargers are not only 2-0, but, oh, by the way, they've beaten the Chiefs and the Raiders. They could get a clean sweep through their first 3 divisional games on their way to a 3-0 record. Here's what the Broncos head coach had to say.
I think, look, division games are important because if you are able to win one, then your division opponent loses one. And I can't do the analytics or the math, but, ultimately it's an AFC opponent. It's our first opportunity to play a division team. and a team that's playing well. So I don't think it changes in preparation. Both teams probably are a little bit more familiar with each other, scheme and personnel-wise. But certainly the division games are really important.
So twice in that answer, he talks about how important the division games are. I had to chuckle, Dante, because he says, well, I can't do the math or the analytics. I'll do them for you, Coach. This game's huge. Getting to a tie with the Chargers, getting to 1-0 in the AFC West, having it so that Week 18 here against LA would be for the tiebreaker with them, because, of course, it would be head-to-head, and if you protect home field, you'd be 2-0. We all had that Christmas game against the Chiefs circled, and we still do. Patrick Mahomes will always be lurking, don't get me wrong. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win 6 games or anything like that, but Thursday, December 25th, that's big. Saturday or Sunday, January 3rd or 4th, to be announced, Broncos and Chargers, that might be even bigger. And the way you make that game even bigger in Week 18 is by winning this weekend. This, to me, doesn't feel like a divisional game. I think I said this last night. It feels to me like a divisional game on steroids. This is just massive, quite frankly, for the direction of this Broncos season.
No, absolutely. It feels like in baseball when you're chasing the team above you for a wild card or division spot, and you have a 3-game series in September, like late September kind of thing, where it's, because again, and Sean points it out, you winning, the other team has to lose, the team that you're going up against. So you're automatically gaining ground no matter what happens. There is no, the Chargers are on the road playing, whoever, where the Dolphins. And it's like, oh, well, it's an easy win. Even if we win, we're still behind the 8 ball chasing them. No, this directly impacts their season just as much as it impacts your season. So yeah, you're right. It feels like what could be for the division here halfway through September.
And that's crazy, but I totally agree with everything you just said. And what's funny, too, about that is I think the Chargers have a lot of swagger right now. I think they have a lot of confidence right now. I think going down to Brazil and knocking off a team that's played in, 4 of the last 5 Super Bowls or whatever it is, won 3 of them, they kind of announced to the NFL world, we're here. We're here. Chiefs' time is done. It's our time. And I think a lot of people thought that meant it would be the Broncos' time. Here's the thing. If you punch the Chargers in the mouth this weekend and get that win, then that narrative shifts back. If they beat you, you think they're already confident and have swagger, they're going to take that to the next level going, fellas, we can win 13, 14 games and run away with the AFC West.
Yeah, and I think part of the swagger you're talking about, and that, the whole country could be maybe overreacting to, both of their games so far have been standalone games, meaning there's a lot of eyeballs on them. They know, it's a night game between the Friday night season opener down in Brazil, and then they're on Monday Night Football this last week here. So I think a little bit of that swagger and maybe the overreaction to the Chargers could be due to the fact that both were not national, because the game in Brazil was weird. It was on YouTube, but quote-unquote national TV games that everybody was watching. But also, how much different, and I know it's only 1 game different, but how much different does 1 and 2 sound versus 2 and 1?
Oh, it feels huge. To use your baseball analogy, what do they always say? If a hitter gets in 1 and 2 count, it's a big advantage for the pitcher. If they get in a 2 and 1 count, they're expecting to either draw a walk or get a hit. No YouTube slander. No, I'm going to slander the NFL for putting a game on YouTube. Well, you realize that YouTube is the 2nd most popular search engine in the world, trailing only Google.
I love YouTube. I watch YouTube basically every night. But that doesn't mean I want my NFL broadcasts on YouTube.
I didn't mind it at all. I just fired up the app on my TV. The stream was crisp. It was clean. I had no problems watching that football game. Did you?
I didn't have any problems with it, but it just felt lesser than when I want to see a standalone primetime NFL game.
Well, I think the Super Bowl is going to be on a platform like that and give it, 5-10 years. Wouldn't shock me at all. So I think that's the direction it's going. But there's something about the traditional broadcast, hearing the CBS music, hearing the Fox music, the NBC music. We all see those montages, and it can give you chills. It reminds me of AFC title games here in the intro with Jim Nantz and Phil Simms on the call here in Denver, 2013, Manning Brady, 2015, Manning Brady. But another coach who knows something about playing in those big games is Jim Harbaugh. And Sean Payton's 1-5 in his career against Jim Harbaugh.
Do you think there's a little New Orleans? Sorry, do you think there's a little something there between Sean Payton and Jim Harbaugh? Do you think they don't like each other, or do you think it's just, like mutual respect as NFL coaches?
Here's where I think it gets tricky. What did Greg Penner do when he was hiring a new head coach? He flew to Ann Arbor. Adam Schefter has reported quite strongly that Greg Penner got on the PJ, the private jet, flew to Ann Arbor, and made one last desperation pitch to Jim Harbaugh to come be the next head coach of the Broncos. Then what did he and Rappaport have? They made a strong play for DeMeco Ryans. He and his family wanted to go to Houston. I think Sean Payton has a chip on his shoulder because he was option number 3 for the Walton Penner family ownership group, and Jim Harbaugh was option 1. What happened? Jim wanted to go win a natty. He did do it at Michigan, and then he took the Chargers job after Sean had coached 1 year here. But I think the beef, so to speak, that you're referencing would be from that Sean Payton feels like I was option 3, and that guy who's coaching across from me on Sunday and twice a year was option number 1.
So more of a one-sided beef, if you will. You don't think Harbaugh reciprocates?
No, they were in different conferences. The Niners and Saints never played in it. They were in the same conference. Excuse me, Niners and Saints, both NFC, but they never played in a NFC title game or a massive playoff game that I can particularly remember. I think the Harbaugh-Pete Carroll beef is very real because I think that goes back to their college days. And then when they were in the same division, they played the epic NFC title game, the Richard Sherman, Crabtree. Of course, that was who the Broncos eventually played in Super Bowl 48 when the Seahawks beat the Niners. But Sean Payton today talked about going up against Jim Harbaugh, who, again, has owned him in his career.
I think very good. I think, look, I worked with his brother John at the Eagles. Their father was a fantastic coach, and the two of them are fantastic coaches. So our league's better when Jim's in it. I've said this before out of respect. I mean, I'd rather him be in a different division, but he does a tremendous job with his team, and as does John. Think about that. At one point, there was a Super Bowl where the two of them were coaching against each other. I mean, we might go 200 more years before that happens again, and that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, a lot of nice things to say. No bulletin board material, obviously, and quite frankly, the Harbaugh family deserves all the compliments in the world. Great coaching family. There's no question about it. The 8575 on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043 says, as much as I hate the Raiders, I was so hoping they wouldn't Raider just for that reason of giving Harbaugh and the Herbs any sort of momentum. I'm with you. Would have been better for the Broncos if the Raiders had won that Monday Night Football game and they were the 2-0 team. But, again, the Broncos have no one to blame but themselves. Quite frankly, the preview of this game should be 2-0 versus 2-0. And it's not because they gagged it in the fourth quarter against Indianapolis. The 8457, giving you a little fun, Dante. Quote, I love YouTube. Proceeds to hate on YouTube. That made me smile a little bit. The 0034 says the issue with the YouTube broadcast was the announcers. Yeah, you're not going to get, you got a great announcer, in my opinion, in Rich Eisen, but you're not going to get the Al Michaels of the world, the Jim Nances of the world doing YouTube, most likely. They're going to stick with the networks. But, again, everything's shifting in this digital age. Maybe one of them takes a massive deal, and even Al. I get it. Al's getting older. He's getting up there, but he's one of the greatest announcers of all time. He took a deal with Amazon to call Thursday Night Football, which is a streaming platform. So it's a different conversation for a different day, but I'll let you defend yourself on the texture who had a little fun with you.
No, again, I think I explained it. I love YouTube, but for what YouTube's meant for. What, you want to watch like cat videos? No, like podcasts and, like the visual version of a podcast or, cool, I don't know, wildlife videos or, Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about space and stuff. Like, I don't want to watch my football broadcasts on there.
Did you, because you're what, like 27?
Yeah.
So you were an OG YouTube guy, like early middle school for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for me it was kind of early high school. The two videos I remember was the evolution of dance.
Oh, yeah.
It was the most viewed video on YouTube for quite some time. And then the Harry Potter puppet ones was also, and that's kind of what YouTube was. Like, it was people with, I don't know, camcorders filming goofy stuff, and it's obviously developed into this absolute giant.
Yeah, no, I definitely, the 2 videos you're talking about, I've watched those. Oh gosh, early YouTube. I forgot about those videos actually until you just said those. But yeah, it's for like funny videos and not the highest production, because then when you do try to do a very high production event like an NFL game, it's kind of half, 50% of what it normally should be. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the phrase I want to say.
See, I didn't think it was. I thought the quality was great. I thought my stream was great. It didn't lag. I thought they did a nice job with it. Trivia question for you. What is the number 1 most viewed YouTube video of all time at the moment? It's no longer The Evolution of Dance. This video has 16 billion views.
Total guess here. I think at one point it was number 1. Is it the Gangnam Style?
That's a good guess. That was where my mind went before I Googled it. Gangnam Style still very much up there, but it is Baby Shark at number 1 with 16 billion views. Last time I checked, the population of the Earth is about 8 billion people. There's certainly a good chunk that don't have access to YouTube, so you start doing the math there. The average person who can watch YouTube has watched Baby Shark about 3 times. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around.
How many have you seen it? How many times have you watched?
I mean, I have young nieces and nephews, so I don't know, 6 times. How about you?
Probably like a handful. I know for some reason it was like a big baseball thing at one point. They'd sing it at the games. Maybe I want to say maybe like Phillies playoff game. They used to sing it. But
I think when the Avs played the Sharks in the playoffs all those years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago,
they would play it in stadium.
They would play it when
arena.
they would score against them to mock the San Jose Baby Sharks. Of course, that didn't work out. The Avs lost in Game 7. They lost on a bogus offsides call to Gabriel Landeskog. And speaking of Gabriel Landeskog, we got news about him at Avs Media Day today. What's the latest with the captain? We'll pass it along next.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app.
Hey guys, boy Steve here today about my long-term buddy Troy Hansford. And if you're thinking about selling your house for any reason, now might be the time to sell, still get top dollar. Believe it or not, my guy Troy is still offering his $5,000 guarantee. What is it, you ask? Well, if he can't sell your house at your price on your timeline that you agree upon beforehand, bam, going to cut you a check for $5,000. Who else makes the offer? Nobody I've ever heard of. And he makes that offer because he continues to spend a ton of money marketing his listings, has about 100 families approved and ready to buy right now. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy can buy your house, all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. You have a house to sell, Troy probably has that perfect buyer for you right now, waiting for you to pick up the phone and to call him. Call Troy, get your home sold for the most money. That's 720-900-4433, 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford of RE/MAX Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions do apply. You want to sell your house? Then call my buddy Troy, 720-900-4433.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040. It's football season, and did you know that I am the reigning fan staff champion in the King Supers Football Pick'em? Yep, Stokely, Schlereth, Zach By, Cecil Lemmy, none of them can hang with the judge when it comes to football. Just like those made-for-TV lawyers can't hang with me in the courtroom. When you've been hurt in a car accident, you want the real deal, which is what you get when you call 303 Law 4040. Not some made-for-TV character. When you call 303 Law 4040, you speak directly with me or my lovely wife, Kimberly, not some call center overseas. And you get to meet with us in person for free. We never take a dime unless we win for you. Plus, no ridiculous fees like those TV characters. You were the one that was hurt, so the doctors and the lawyers shouldn't take all the money. So go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. It's 303 Law 4040, 303 Law 4040.
Come shop Denver's biggest, most exciting diamond event of the year.
Because this week, get our lowest prices of the year on everything diamond at Williams Jewelers.
It's the Diamond Expo, September 23rd through 27th at both Williams Jewelers.
Come shop the largest selection of gorgeous loose diamonds, every shape, every size, and price range diamonds, including Kwiat and Hearts on Fire. It's the Diamond Expo. Expo.
Plus thousands of diamond settings from the world's top designers, including Gabriel & Company, A. Jaffe, and Takori.
Everything diamond. Diamond earrings, rings, bracelets, and necklaces at the best prices of the year. It's the Diamond Expo.
Plus, with every purchase of $5,000 or more, you'll receive a pair of half-carat total weight natural diamond studs, a $950 value, as our gift.
The Diamond Expo at Williams Jewelers. Save hundreds, even thousands. It's our biggest diamond event of the year.
And the diamond earrings are on us.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of your life.
Where Colorado shines.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. Fall has arrived, which makes now the perfect time to call your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks, at 303-425-0985. Ductworks complete ventilation cleaning packages, scrapes and vacuums every inch of your system, removing dirt, dust, and debris other companies leave behind. Here's why that matters. Your heating system kicks on in the fall. Dirty ducts can reduce efficiency, raise your energy bills, push dust into your home's air. A professional cleaning now helps your furnace run better, last longer, and keep your family breathing cleaner air. Don't wait until the first cold snap when everyone else is scrambling. Get ahead of the rush. Call Ductworks today at 303-425-0985 or visit ductworks.com for your free residential and commercial estimate. Your air duct cleaning experts, Ductworks.
303-425-0985.
Football is back, and it's time for you to get in the game. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan is here to help, and we're giving away a PlayStation 5 bundle. Download the Denver Sports app and tap the contest banner on the homepage for your chance to win a PS5 console, a 70-inch flat-screen TV, plus copies of Madden 26 and College Football 26. Don't wait. Download the Denver Sports app now. 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
I was down there at Avalanche Media Day today. Great job by the Avs. Appreciate them hosting us and making everyone available. We heard from all the big dogs: Jared Bednar, Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Devon Taves, Marty Necas. The who's who of the Colorado Avalanche were at the podium early this morning at Ball Arena. And I think one of the biggest stories of the day, if not the biggest, is Gabriel Landeskog. We saw him come back in Game 3 against the Stars last year. He was shockingly one of the best players after not being on the ice for 3 years. And Jared Bednar got asked how Gabe is feeling and what the plans are for him this coming season, given that an 82-game grind is a lot different than a handful of playoff contests.
He's feeling great, so he'll be full go, and I think we just have to monitor that and make our decisions like in the moment. You know, like if he has any soreness or anything's going on with him and he needs a day here and there off for practice or even games, and then we'll do that. Like we're looking at big picture stuff here for Landy, get him through the full entire season, have him feeling good so he's available come the stretch run and hopefully playoffs. And for me, that's just going to be the communication between him and I and our medical staff. So
with Bednar there talking about it, he mentioned later in the answer as well, full go, full go, full go. I'm sort of just reading between the lines here, but I think the head coach wants the captain to play 75 to 80 games. Now, that's not to say that Gabe couldn't come to Jared and say, hey, knees being a little funny. I need a night or two here or there, maybe end of a long road trip, whatever. But Dante, we were having conversations about this guy retiring this time last year, even into the season last year. It is flat out remarkable that full go is the expectation for Gabe. And I think Avs fans have to be thrilled, because I told Zach and Phil I wouldn't have batted an eye if they had said today he's going to play 40 to 50 games. And that was certainly not the tone of the press conference.
Yeah, I liked Bednar's answer to the question. The plan is for it to be full go, but it's somewhat, we'll
Monitor.
by ear.
Monitor the situation.
Yes.
Yep.
Play it by ear is what I was looking for there. But same with monitor there about, hey, if he's not feeling right, we can maybe sit him here, have him skip a practice here or there. And you hear it all the time of these guys that go from college to the professionals of, they hit a wall, a rookie wall. That's very common in sports all across the board, just because you're not used to the grind that are these long seasons of professional sports. And I kind of feel like Landeskog's going to be kind of in that same boat. And I know he's played a lot of professional hockey seasons here, but it's been a while. I don't think his body's quite accustomed to go out there for an 82-game season and what we're hoping for a long playoff run. So I would put the number probably closer to like 65 games to expect him in, and that's if everything goes right and the body's feeling well. But I like Bednar's answer of the plan is full go, because if you don't have the plan as full go to start, then you're never going to be able to ramp it up to that point. It's one of those where you have to have the mindset going in. We're going to try to play him as much as possible, but yes, we're going to listen to the body and be smart about it at the same time.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a lot easier to lead on the ice than it is to lead in a suit, and I think part of the reason the Avalanche have only won one playoff series since they hoisted the cup was they were missing their leader for a lot of them, and obviously all the Nichushkin stuff happened, but I'll just say this. I was in the room today for an hour and a half, 2 hours with those guys, and the vibe is that they're settled. They're just settled. This roster is going to be the roster that goes for the cup. Of course, there will be a trade or two, a tweak or two. That'll happen. But no shuffling all the chairs like they've done the last couple of years. This is the group. And Jared Bednar said that it's time. It's go time. There's a sense of urgency. Nathan McKinnon, only getting one cup would be tough. Direct quote from maybe the best player in the NHL. Cale Makar, we want to win the Stanley Cup. And they're making it very clear, the cup is the expectation. Now, whether or not they can do it, we'll be fixing to find out, as Gary Kubiak would say. But it's go time for the Avs. It's time to get back to the mountaintop. For Dante, I'm Will. Thanks for tuning in. It's DST on the Fan.
The Drive with Zach By and Philip Lindsay.
There are a lot of issues. I mean, think about it. All three levels of the defense struggled mightily. Up front, the linebackers, the secondary. I mean, name me a Bronco defender that had a good game.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
This is Dr. Joel Cherdak with Denver Regenerative Medicine. If you've struggled with weight loss, it's time for something real. We use GLP-1 medications from licensed U.S. pharmacies at full strength, never from unknown or online sources. Your program is overseen by a real doctor with in-clinic care and telemedicine options. Best of all, we're offering a free consultation so you can get started risk-free. Experience real weight loss results for under $300 a month. Visit denverregen.com to book your free consult. That's denverregen.com.
Whether it's kickoff, halftime, or the final drive, fuel your football season at Dickey's Barbecue Pits. Order the Two Can Dine for $29.99 deal. Two meat plates stacked with pit smoke flavor. Or go for the new Triple Play Combo. A classic sandwich, savory side, and a big yellow cup for just $12.99. No matter who you're rooting for, great barbecue is always a win. Dickey's Barbecue Pit, legit. Texas barbecue.
It's next man up in Boulder as Coach Prime and the new look Buffs return to action at Folsom Field. Tickets are on sale now, so get loud and cheer on CU as the Buffs battle for a Big 12 title. Tickets are still available for the Buffalo's home matchups against BYU, Iowa State, Arizona State, and more. Lock in your seats by visiting CUBuffs.com/tickets or by calling 303-492-8282. Join the action of another exciting season at Folsom Field with your Colorado Buffaloes.
Change is always happening. Hey, it's part of life, and when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. But no matter how things change in 5 years, there's one thing that'll stay the same: the price of your internet. Xfinity is introducing the 5-year price guarantee. It means you'll get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with their best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community.